So let's tilt it back up again because I'm thinking we need to rotate the motor to make sure we get our cables with enough flex. So tilt it back up and back down. That's good. And let's turn the root P-I-T-O-T.
Really
all the
smooth.
way.
All the way?
Yep.
That's really smooth. It's nice.
You do nice work. So we don't need to worry about any of that. So we need all of this to be together in our tube, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. Cables we can get over here. This we can get some more slack out of, right? This is like a mile long. All right. So push the battery underneath where it goes because we need a little more slack out of it. So I see the battery, where the battery hold down is. So go ahead and just turn the wheel back and forth. If we clamp it here, let's see how that, it seems like the right place for it to be, but yeah, that should work. Maybe a little more slack in this. So let me get a couple tie straps. We'll hold it here first.
Hold it while you get
Yeah.
Don't sit on that. Got a few splinters.
You know where those splinters are.
What's that?
He got himself some splinters from sitting on there.
Just now?
Yeah.
Yeah. No pain, no gain, right?
Yeah.
So this here goes down to my bilge pump. This went to your transom light, right?
Right.
So that's what we want to check next. We'll get this all, neatened up, and then we'll hook up the battery to the other two cables, because there was a fuse in there that was all broken up underneath, like an inline fuse. I don't know what that went to. Maybe it went to did the fish finder work last year?
It did.
Okay, so maybe it went to that. Well, that one doesn't hold too good, does it? So let's see. It's a lot of wires. Yeah, if you want to hold it there. And I thought Kyan was going to jump in and help.
Picking splinters.
But so it's not like a boat where you have a gunnel. Wow, these tie straps are terrible. Wonder where I got these. It was probably an Amazon purchase. Made in China. Look at that. Nope, we're gonna get the other ones.
Dang, that's crazy. Reusable.
Usable.
to go.
So what they did was they took these tubes and just kind of
Cover it up.
covered them up here, and then they had the second one go from here to here.
Okay.
Is really all it was. I'm sure you could find something to cover these. Like, I don't know what Boston Whaler originally did to cover these,
Okay.
but I'm sure you could find something different. But it is good to keep them covered because it's the sun that screws everything up.
It's always the sun.
Where's the sun?
I mean, it's good for vitamin D, right? And then just kind of put the split down, right? So you don't see it. Want to give me one of those? Or you want to put it right on there? Actually, I think you might need two. I don't know if it's going to go all the way around.
Let's just, let's see. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Might
Now let's
take
just
gloves
make sure we got enough. Is it turned all the way? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, good. So what we'll do is show you a little trick to tighten these up. So you see how it has the little tongue there that it catches on?
Yeah,
If you go like, hear that?
yeah, it rolls back.
But it has to be a good tie strap. It can't be the crappy ones. All right, you want to put the rest of them in?
Sure. You want some, Zoe?
Cool, you guys are almost ready. Here, we can tilt it up now and get it ready for trailering. So you do have to watch the tilt wires over here when you put this down, just to make sure it's not getting caught in this. Sometimes this will get caught behind there. So, and this is another thing you want to spray up. Like buy a can of white lithium spray.
We have.
Yeah, and just spray all that stuff
White
up.
lithium spray. How many? Is it just a few more?
I would put another one here. Looks like there
Yeah.
was one. See where it looks like
Yeah.
there was one before. Kind of copy them. You want me to tighten them up?
Sure. Thank you. Backwards.
So Keith, we do the impeller every year on the other boat? Is that
You don't have
this
to.
every year or not?
2 years is.
Two?
I've even gone 3.
Okay.
What you have to be careful of is if you're running it on the trailer, and you accidentally forgot to turn the water on,
Yeah,
then you need to do the water pump.
right.
It may still pump water, but it's gonna not get enough when you run it at high RPM.
Okay.
So
Plus-
2 years is more than enough. 3 years you could even push it to if
Well-
you want to.
We start
Two.
count from now?
Yes,
Yeah, there's a brand new water pump.
Bruh.
Yeah. And then you do the thermostat at the same time.
No, it's too
Where-
small.
Where's that?
So that was the little cover that
Oh,
was,
in there.
yeah.
Okay.
So you can actually see it on your old motor
You gotta ask.
because I have the cover off.
First, determined to get a good impression.
Oops,
How'd you do that?
it's heavier than it looks.
Sure.
So right here, could probably take it out.
It's not magic, that's how.
Look at that, huh?
Now look at them
Woo.
talking boats.
Yep, so that's why I like to run the salt away. You know, when you put it away for the season,
No.
run the
And
salt
these
away through
tools.
it.
Could you
I'll
ask him?
show you. I have that big barrel out there,
I'm hard.
so I run a couple of
can't
motors
ask
to save.
Here, what?
because I'm a
hard at
tightwad.
work, so I can't ask her.
Yeah, whatever.
So any one of these is good. I prefer this one,
Okay.
but they give you
No, I think we need.
so
I
you
think we
can
just need
fill this
one.
up and hook it up to your hose and turn
then
it
we'll
on, and it'll
tighten it.
flush it through the
Yeah.
motor. Because you want to run it
I've had
without the soap first, till it gets warm enough that the thermostat opens.
Okay.
Then you open this up and let it go through. You guys want some water or something?
We have it in the car.
You sure?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I'd offer you a beer, but I don't know if that's appropriate.
Oh, that one's too tight. Oh shoot,
Next time.
might
Mhm.
be too tight.
Need to listen?
I cracked it. It's good.
There's my little girl.
I can listen it.
When she was a little girl,
It's gonna tighten up.
and now she's getting married.
Oh.
Goes
Yeah,
by
me
fast,
too.
my friend.
No, I'll just hold.
But I don't have to tell you that.
Nice little graduation.
Nah, I think we need to.
Nah, we
We
can
have
get.
to go closer to the side.
That's 5
Yeah.
minutes away.
We're
What
gonna
you're
lose.
doing.
Yeah,
No.
it
Well,
goes
we
by quick. High school graduation coming up.
Yep. June.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a
I don't
college picked out?
Yes.
Where are you going?
Johns Hopkins.
Nice.
All right. Now we need to.
Gotta make sure we get some of the antics in it, in
Yeah.
too, you know.
The split.
So that paint I was showing you really does a decent job, you know.
You just,
I painted all the way down to here just because I had the can and it just looked good. So
Okay.
you always want to pull the prop off every year, just to make sure there's no fishing line
Okay.
wrapped around it. And you guys can call me when you're ready to do something, text me, let me know what you're doing, you know, give you whatever advice I can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You do the lower unit oil every year, mainly because, like, you could even take the plug out, and if it's clean oil that comes out, you could put it back in and run it again next year.
Okay.
But you want to change it when you do your water pump at least.
Probably just change it every year.
Yeah, unless you get water, then you got to pull a lower unit and reseal and stuff like that. But this passed pressure test and everything, so you should be good to go. All right, we got it. The next tube has to go on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this we just tuck down inside here, right?
Yeah, it was.
You remember that from before? That it was
I
like
remember
that?
when you were taking it out.
You
I
saw the video?
yes, we do.
We did.
So let's put this on here.
We're gonna get these. They might have to
Yeah,
be-
we're gonna get some of those.
Yeah.
Let me get my cutters. We can get this out of the way.
Put it around the floor. And just
Yeah, and just put a tie strap there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good.
So you're probably gonna want to double up on a tie strap. See how there was one here? And keep it tight to this, right? Because this,
So-
this is gonna kind of flap here a little bit. And maybe even, like there's a screw where the rub rail is. Let me see if I have one with a ring on it. Where's that Phillips head screwdriver you were using?
Up here.
Thank you, sir.
Now imagine out in the open blue.
the open day.
On the ocean blue.
Yeah, right. Imagine this thing in the ocean.
Yeah, a calm day.
I'll send you the video without the YouTube so you can save it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Because you're gonna show this to your grandkids.
One day.
It's a long way out.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I have a nephew that has a 1-year-old that was just at the hospital yesterday and had a second child.
Wow.
Congrats.
So Luke has a brother now, Benjamin.
Nice.
And Luke was from Star Wars. That's where they got that name from.
Not really, can't back that up.
How's it coming together over there?
Think we're
Here,
good?
you want to cut them all off?
Sure, thank
You want
you.
to
Should we
tighten them
up
first?
Yeah.
You gave up on the gloves?
Yep.
What was the other spray we were talking about before?
White lithium spray?
There was one like earlier. I can't remember what we were talking
The paint for like,
Do you remember what we were talking about? What it was? What we were? We could rewind the tape, rewind the video.
was it the paint that he told us to use?
Paint?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
the
that prevent-
Rust-Oleum.
prevent-
Oh yes, Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer.
Yeah, it's so.
That'll help hold that a little more in its spot. I mean, the sun's gonna make it brittle after next year, but
Or the clippers.
all right. So we just got lights left.
Yeah.
Play with the lights. So you may change this pin too, depending on where you want the motor at its full down, because you probably won't go full down anyway, because then the boat starts to porpoise, you know. So you'll find the spot that you want to keep that in. I did have to put new bolts in, because with these, the bottom ones weren't long enough.
Saw that. in
So I
the
had to-
video, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys do watch my videos. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You're the ones.
Yeah, I'm happy about those backing plates.
Yeah.
I think that's better.
Yeah. There's a garbage can right inside there too. You can chuck those. All right. All you need is a fuel tank.
Yeah.
Get the running lights going. So you, one got away from you? So we got to put these plates on, Kyan.
Okay.
While we're doing that, what do you think of the fuel from last year? You stabilized it, but do you run that through this? Or?
What I would do is get a glass mason jar. So I buy the, like the quart size
Yeah.
mason jars, and you're going to get a new fuel line and squeeze ball, and squeeze some out into the jar, and let it sit for about, make sure the tank is level, because you want to pull from the bottom, and let it sit for about 20 minutes, and make sure there's no. Here, let me show you. Let me bring out. This is what I got from the last guy's tank. nice,
levels.
beautiful, clean fuel with water on the bottom. So that's water and ethanol, because the ethanol absorbs the water phase separation. So that's what you want to avoid. If you pump it out and you got that in there, then don't use that fuel. I mean, you're going to try and, you know, how many gallons do you have?
Yeah, 2 5 gallons.
They're both full?
Well, there was the one big one that sat under here, but we didn't use that.
That's gone, yeah.
So you could, your other boat's gas?
No.
No? Diesel. What stabilizer did you use? Startron or the blue?
The green stuff.
It probably doesn't have water in it since you put the Startron in it. But if it does, I mean, you can try pumping off the bottom and trying to get as much as you can out and use it in a lawnmower or something, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I'd put it in the car. The systems on the cars are too fine, and you know, this I'd run it in all day long, but
I can handle it.
yeah. But yeah, you don't want to, especially on a two-stroke. So, let me show you something real quick. You know, show you how a two-stroke works.
Yeah.
So,
Can I get out?
so this motor right here. Let's see, it's easy to show on this one since we got it upright. So this right here is where your carburetors go. It's where your fuel goes in. The crankshaft is right here, spinning. And the spark is here, where the heads are. So the fuel goes through the engine to get to the pistons. Whereas on a four-stroke, the carburetors would be over here. There'd be a manifold, or they're directly injected into here. And there's oil, right? You pull and check the oil, right? This is a four-stroke engine, and it has the oil dipstick like your car. Right? So notice the fuel comes in here, but notice it's over here where it goes in. They bring it all the way over. So I send that fuel through the engine. It has oil mixed with the fuel that lubricates the crankshaft and the bearings and everything as it goes through it. So if I send water through it, water is not really a good lubricant, you know, and that's how these motors get burned up. Fuel management is number one. So with the deck tanks, I would try and use them up at the end of the year. This way you only have a little bit in it, you can get rid of it, and then, you know, with your, you know, a tank that's in the boat, you want to fill it at the end of the year so there's less chance of moisture developing inside of it. So,
Okay.
all right, you want to put those plates on?
Yeah.
Do you remember how they went on?
No.
The bolts.
Yep,
I don't remember
so,
what order they were in.
so this one went here. Am I right?
To prevent this thing. Okay.
Yep, so this one went here,
Yes.
right? And this one went on the inside and matched this.
And then there were two more below it. Okay. But wait, maybe it might be.
Might be the other way
The big
around?
one's on the outside because there's.
Think so?
Yeah.
All right. So you think, I think you're right. So I think this goes over here. That makes sense. So let me get the bolts. So the washers go on the inside. These go on the inside, or the outside rather. You get the first one in. And then it just had the little nut on it. Are you through the plate?
Trying to get it.
It doesn't stick through very far.
Yeah.